Hey guys, I'm just going to talk with you about having self-compassion today. So just to start with, just a little definition about self-compassion. It's really not anything different than what we do with our students in the families that we work with. We want to be compassionate towards them, and that's what we practice doing. So now you just want to direct that towards yourself and being compassionate towards yourself. So for example, if you noticed that someone was homeless and you were feeling like you had compassion for them, that's because you recognize that they're suffering and you want to be understanding. And so you would want to direct that feeling towards yourself too, as you go through different feelings of being like uncomfortable or feeling down on yourself. So when you feel warmth and caring and the desire to help other people, that's how you have self-compassion. So you want to understand and have kindness towards yourself when you fail and when you make mistakes, rather than judging yourself harshly. Because when you do that for others, it makes them feel better. So the same way it would be if you would do that for yourself. So instead of thinking like, oh, like this situation really sucks, like I don't know what to do, think about how you can comfort and care for yourself in that moment. So like I said, the same way that we would talk to our students and families, think about that for yourself. The kind of advice that you would give them, what would you tell yourself? And you may change things that you want to do. You may change like your lifestyle to be more healthy and happy, but this is because you care about yourself. It's not because that you don't feel like you're worth it or what you did is unacceptable. It's just some changes that you want to make to help improve your life. And things may not always go the way you want them to, and that's okay too. Life is not going to always play out. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes, in our personal lives and our professional jobs, and it's okay that those things happen, and they happen for everybody. And so to be compassionate towards yourself, you just want to understand that other people are going through those same things, and you want to make sure that you're giving yourself the grace in that moment or in those moments. Okay. So now we're going to do an activity. So if everyone will pull out a piece of paper, I'm going to read to you a self-compassion exercise. So this is called, How Would You Treat a Friend? So for the first step, I want you to think about a time when a close friend felt really bad about him or herself. Are they really struggling, or are they really struggling in some way? How would you respond to your friend in this situation, especially when you're at your best? Write down what you would typically do, what you would say, and note the tone in which you would typically address that with your friend. So I'll give you a couple seconds to do that. Now, for the second step, I want you to think about a time when you felt bad about yourself or struggling. How would you typically respond to yourself in one of those situations? Now, if you want to write down what you would typically do, and note the tone as well with this one of how you would talk to yourself. For step number 3, I want you to look back at both of those and see if you notice a difference. If so, ask yourself why. What fears or what factors come into play that lead you to treat yourself and others so differently? Now for step number 4, I want you to write down how you would think things might change if you responded to yourself in the same way you typically respond to a close friend when you're suffering. So for the last part, I want you to try to think about, why not try treating yourself like you would a good friend and see what happens. See how those feelings change towards yourself as you're practicing self-compassion. So below we'll have linked the website that has some more information about having self-compassion, and a link to a self-compassion test. So you go through and take the test. There might be like 25 or 30 questions. You can rate yourself, and then it gives you a score, so you can kind of see if you may need to try to improve upon those things.